Aloha, good morning. This is Caron Davis of Caron Realty International. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm very excited to present some different statistics we haven't discussed. And this came about. I had a potential client who called me a few months ago and said, I would like to know what Oahu's real estate market trends have been for the last 25 years. And it sounded like a very heavy question, but when I sat back and thought about it, I worked with our marketing department and we were able to get some great information. And I thought, well, I should be sharing this with everybody. So let me share my screen and we'll get an idea of over the past 25 years with the world events. And that's what you wanted to know, how world events were affecting the real estate prices in Hawaii. Especially Oahu. So we'll take this graph just so you can have a good look at what's going on here. And the single family homes is in the yellow and the condominium prices are in the orange. And this is the medium sales price we're going to be talking about. And as you can see, the graph does show those medium prices going up in the single family homes and condominiums. But let's break it down to we sometimes forget about the tough times we've been through and what happened. And if we start from 2000 to 2007, we had pre-recession growth. The economic climate, there was a robust US economy and favorable interest rates that led to increased real estate investments nationwide, including Oahu. The real estate impact, of course, of that was property values on Oahu saw a steady rise during this period, driven by local demand and interest from mainland investors. So you can see there was a slight increase there of the median price. 2008 to 2010 was the global financial crisis. So if we look on the graph there, what was going on, and we saw a little dip there, but the economic climate, the subprime mortgage crisis, precipitated a global economic downturn. And the real estate impact, Oahu experienced a slowdown in property sales, with median prices stabilizing or slightly declining as credit tightened and buyer confidence was down, of course. And then 2011 to 2019, and you can see on the graph there was some recovery and stabilization. And the economic climate there was gradual economic recovery, coupled with Hawaii's strong tourism sector boasted consumer confidence. Between that 2011 and 2019, and the real estate impact, property values on Oahu rebounded with median sales prices increasing steadily. The demand was fueled by lower interest rates and limited housing inventory, something that we've all got used to for many years now. So now if we take the 2020, the COVID, during the pandemic, you can see there's a big line for one of the major worldwide events that we're recognizing here. The social impact, of course, led to travel restrictions, a decline in tourism and economic uncertainty. But as we all know, initially there was a brief dip in real estate in the market. However, as remote work became more prevalent, interest in Oahu properties grew. And it was a very busy time for us, actually. From buyers seeking relocation from urban centers, nationally, locally, internationally. And this demand led to a surge in median sales prices. It was quite impactful, during this time. 2021 to 2023, post-pandemic adjustments, tourism gradually resumed and the local economy showed signs of recovery. Real estate impact, the real estate market remained strong with continued interest from out-of-state buyers, and median sales prices for single families and condominiums saw continuous growth, as we can see there. And then, of course, we had the 2024, the legislative and the environmental factors and political events. And, the Hawaii lawmakers address rising property insurance premiums influenced by climate change-related disasters. So we've been, working with that for quite some time, especially in the condominium market where we couldn't get insurance for certain buildings, and it still stands like that for certain buildings today. But there are some very creative people out there trying to find ways so buyers can get insurance so they can get those mortgages. The real estate impact with the increased insurance costs added to the overall expenses, of course, for home ownership, both for condominiums and single families. And I don't feel we've seen the full effect on that yet. As you can see, the prices still were slightly going up, but I do see the single family homes still going up a little bit, but condos, we may see some of the recorded prices a little lower than we anticipated, which will affect the median sales price. So, there's definitely a lot of juggling with the expenses of home ownership and even with investors. I know I had a client where the taxes were only $5,000 for the year, and when they bought, because they were an investor, the taxes literally doubled. So the rate of return on that property wasn't as high as we wanted. However, I believe the appreciation will make up for that. And as many times with investors, they will buy in Hawaii. It's not about the rate of return. It's ultimately the appreciation of the property that they're looking for. And I've always said, you buy smart, you'll always do well. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. 2025, here we are today. And as of January 2025, Hawaii's real estate market continues to show resilience. The median sales prices for homes just reached 1,120,000. It was down there for a few months, just went up 9.7% increase from the previous year, while condominiums actually saw an increase in the median price, 6.8%. So we are still seeing people buy real estate, pay close to the list prices. So with all this craziness going on around us, it's still a very strong market here. So I did want to share that with you today. And of course, we'll have all these notes below the graph that you can review. And I hope you found some good information there, and certainly contact me if you want specific information to neighborhoods, buildings, different kinds of markets out there. Definitely will have some good information rather than, this is great information generally, but if you want specific information, we can get that for you as well. So turning around, as we know, we always have a look at some beautiful photos here in Hawaii of our islands, and Marianne's photos. And of course, this is a beautiful photo of the coastal views of the South Shore with Waikiki and the Ko'olau Mountains in the background. Absolutely stunning. And of course, the beautiful Queen Kapiolani Park in Diamond Head. And hasn't the weather just been beautiful lately? Just stunning, and everything just shows so beautiful. And of course, the cute and colorful lantaina flowers popping up everywhere, as Marianne says. Absolutely stunning, the colors. We've just started spring, and it's just also delightful with everything green because of the rain we had a few weeks ago. And now it's beautiful blue skies, incredibly gorgeous sunsets, and the water's blue and just stunning here in Hawaii. And of course, there we go. We leave today with a sunset sail picture. And thank you for joining me today. Thank you for supporting me over the years. We continue to be very busy, and we love giving our wisdom to our clients. And much mahalo, and have a wonderful weekend. Aloha.